thanks for coming back for another Pixie Talks review vlog.
Pixie Talks, reviews and vlogs at Pixie Talks. Pixie Talks, reviews and vlogs at Pixie Talks. Woo!
This week's review is as requested by Chris over at Patreon. Remember, I am doing a weekly raffle for you to get to pick the subject of the week's review. So, if there is something you've always wanted to see me review, or you just really like my content and would like to support me, please consider checking out the Patreon. So Chris wanted me to review a children's murder mystery novel. This is Murder, Most Unladylike by Robin Stevens, also published in the American market under the title Murder is Bad Manners. It is the first in a series of murder mystery novels and the very first case to be solved by the Wells and Wong Detective Society. Published in 2014, it has been nominated for several literary awards in children's and young adult literature. It takes place at an English boarding school where one of the teachers mysteriously disappears. Everyone's been told that Miss Bell simply resigned, but Hazel knows better. She saw the body. So Hazel and her somewhat overbearing friend Daisy team up together to solve the murder. The mystery involves all of the teachers at this all-girls boarding school, and it explores the relationships and scandals that take place at this school. Who is dating whom? Who has jilted whom? Who is up for promotions and who had been hoping to be promoted? Who has a drinking problem that they're trying to keep hidden? It's kind of interesting to see the messy and drama-filled world of adult lives through the eyes of these child characters as they try to piece together the mystery of what happened through studious observation. And it's really quite an intriguing mystery plot, honestly. The flow of the clues certainly kept me guessing throughout, even as I thought at certain points that I had figured it out, only to find out that I hadn't. The lay of the events and the discovery of them is quite well done. And the story is well paced to give a real sense of the school and the people living in it. I felt quite immersed in the setting and very interested in the murder. The biggest flaw in the narrative, however, is that the characters, especially the POV character Hazel, have a severe lack of character agency. Character agency is a gauge of how much a character is an active participant in the story versus being perpetually reactive to the events of the story. And unfortunately, Hazel does absolutely nothing through the entire narrative, instead following along her friend Daisy. Hazel feels more like a fellow audience member, describing events as they unfold, but never really feeling like she's an actual character in them. A good rule of narrative is that if you could remove a character from the story without making any changes whatsoever to the plot, that character should probably be cut. And it's especially bad if that's true of the supposed main character. Even Daisy, Hazel's pushy and take-charge friend, doesn't actually do all that much to affect the plot, though she does certainly make more of an effort than Hazel. The author seems to be so focused on showing the cleverness of the mystery that she has neglected to show us the cleverness of the characters, and that is, I think, its biggest flaw. Also, and this is more of a personal gripe than a critique, I just couldn't stand Daisy. Hazel is perpetually bossed around and undercut by Daisy, who is so full of herself and obsessed with her own ego that she never listens to a word her friend says. She steamrolls the main character's agency at every single turn, and it was really rather unlikable. I was uncomfortable with the amount of bullying and a lot of the casually racist remarks made towards Hazel for being from Hong Kong that were never addressed as, not good behavior to put up with from a best friend. Well, perhaps Daisy will grow and mature in the later books in the series. Altogether, this is a fairly fun kids book, and it is something that I could see myself having been into when I was a kid and reading things like Nancy Drew. I do think that the author needs to allow her characters, especially her main characters, to do more in the narrative, but she does have a very good grasp on how to lay out a fun and engaging mystery. The setting of the Deep Dean boarding school was certainly enjoyably immersive, and the population of side characters were all fairly well fleshed out as well. I may not have gotten as much out of it as I could have as an adult reader, but I'm sure that I would have really liked it as a kid. Of Murder Most Unladylike. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please do be sure to like and subscribe, and remember that I am taking weekly requests over at Patreon. So if there's a topic that you've always wanted to see me review, or you just really like my content and would like to support me, please consider becoming a patron. And with that, I will see you guys next week. Bye!